The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. I think
he missed the complete. That is crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the ASPCA 100 at Langley Speedway. This is the first race of Season 4 in the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series, and you're going to get to see all 100 laps unfold live here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Hi, I'm Sean Ambrose, and alongside me in the booth tonight is Tanner Sharp. In the director's chair this evening, we have Mr. Joe Peak, twisting and tweaking the dials, and our camera sets, of course, always provided by the great, magnificent one, Dougie Beard. New season, new sponsor. Let's welcome aboard Christian Family Construction Services. Complete excavation services for new homes and additions. You can call them at 860-428-5995. We'll throw that number at you again before the evening's over. But they can help you with a multitude of projects. Land clearing, site preparation, stumping, cellar holes. Let's face it, we've all got holes in our cellars. Drainage systems, grading gravel and stone driveways, septic installation. Need those septic systems, especially up in the Northeast. Engineered and non-engineered system, pump systems, test holes, leach fields. And now they're licensed and insured, and they are a Connecticut licensed septic installer. Certainly a great company, and we're certainly happy to have them on board here in the Bootleg Racing League here in the fall season 4 here in 2017. Now, we want to pull Tanner Sharp out of the Lotus 79 and get him into another open-wheeled monster. Well, sort of. Half the car's open-wheeled. Great to have you on board with us, my friend Tanner. And you've had some league success along the way yourself. You're a former two-time 3-wide Racing League champion. So I think you could appreciate the grind of a long season. Why don't you talk to us about where we get this season started off tonight?
Tonight we get started at Langley Speedway. It is a paved short track measuring at 0.39 miles to be exact, and it is one of the flattest in the region with only 6 degrees of banking in the corners and 4 degrees of banking on the straights. This track opened up in 1950. So to get an idea how to get around this little short track, let's hop on board on our GSRC SK Modify for a lap around Langley.
Hi, this is James Carhula in a GSRC Modified, and I'm going to take you for a few laps around the Langley Speedway. This is a very flat track. Look for these drivers to be using that apron to help give them a little bit more grip to turn that car a little bit better through the corners. Overall, Langley is a track where you're going to see a lot of single file racing, not a lot of opportunity to use a second groove, as most drivers will be using the apron here at some point. Langley is a wide track, though, that's going to give you lots of opportunities, if you do make a mistake, to try and keep your car from taking home substantial damage. Keep your car rotating through the corners, hold your line, and you can find yourself in a good position here at the Langley Speedway.
All right, and that was a bad fast lap around Langley Speedway in the SK Modified, and now we've caught up with David Loomis. Hasn't been around for a terribly long time, but certainly planning on running the full season here, and also connected to our new sponsor. And David, it's good to have you in, buddy. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, Sean. How about yourself?
Excellent. Langley Speedway is where the action is at tonight. Have you gotten many laps in here in practice yet?
Yeah, I've got a couple. The car feels good.
Now it's 84 degrees on track. Is the car loose, or is it pretty dialed in right now?
The car's a little bit loose, but I mean it's drivable, so should be a good race.
Now, buddy, talk to us about our new sponsor, Christian Family Construction Services. I just gave him a plug here a moment ago. Now, what's your connection to the company?
Yeah, so we're a small family business. It's run by my father-in-law. He's the lead on it. He's been doing this his entire life. Digging foundation holes and piping and septic systems is really his specialty. I got involved when at the time she was my girlfriend. She was working for him, and I started working with them. So it's it's small family business. Uncles are involved, other cousins, things like that.
Well, we're certainly happy to have him on board this season, and really looking forward to seeing you here run. What are your plans for this season? Yeah, you planning on making all these races and giving a shot at the title?
Definitely plan on being here for all the races. Might have to miss one or two based off. We have my younger brother is actually getting married, so depends on those dates. But I plan to be here for all the modified races.
All right, well, that's awesome. We certainly wish your brother well, and we'll give you a pass if you have to miss that. Certainly understandable. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Definitely Christian Family Construction. Like my father-in-law, he allowed us to put the money into the series and get us the sponsorship. Hope all turns out well, and hopefully, maybe someone sees this and gives him a call. He'll come out, do estimates for you. Just a real nice guy.
All right, now remember that. Now you guys are in Connecticut, right?
Yes, sir. We do from Thompson to Willimantic down to Plainfield, a little bit further south than that, Griswold. You're looking for Peter if you call.
All right, now, so if I need something over here on Long Island, I can get you across the sound to come help me.
For you, we would be able to do that.
We'll check the septic tank. If we need a new one, I might have to talk to you. But, hey, David, again, thanks a lot, buddy, and really happy to have Christian Family Construction Services on board with us this season. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, Sean.
All right, Tanner, that was David Loomis. Great to talk to him. Driver of the number 91. I don't see a sponsor on the car. Good color scheme, but I haven't seen a sponsor on it. But that's all right. David probably get one on there here pretty soon. Now, Tanner, with that out of the way, why don't we take a look at where the points wound up at the end of season 3?
Yeah, most certainly, and it seemed like nobody could really touch J.R. Shepard because J.R. Shepard finished on top of this the Summer Series standings with 141 points. Second place followed closely by 20 points behind is Donnie Moore in second. Lowell Jewell, 42 points back, with Jeff Sharp, 50 points back, and 55 points back. It was a close matchup for a top 4 spot in points, was John Hine.
All right. Well, and it was honestly for about 2/3 of the season. It was really, really close. They where Donnie Moore was actually in the lead of that championship at one point, and then JR with his typical late season charge there really took care of business over the last 4 races or so, and JR taking a little bit of a break here for this fall season, and so we'll probably see him in the winter, and he's certainly always welcome to come back and pick up another win. So what does that mean? Well, it means an open season for these drivers here in season 4. But let's take a look at the race details real quick. We'll pull those up here. This, of course, the first round tonight of 11 races this season. Going to be a little bit strange. We've actually got a lot of 3 off weeks, and it's just because of how the holidays fall during the fall season. 100 laps tonight, 100 laps every Saturday night. Pit stop, you're not going to need one. There's plenty of fuel in the car to cover 100 laps. You do get one free fast repair if you should need to come in and pick one of those up. The important thing to remember is you can't change the tires. That's a big no-no. You will be penalized if you do change the tires. So everybody knows how to turn those off, and you just it's one of those things you got to pay attention to. Now the grid. How are we going to set the grid tonight? Well, one thing we didn't talk to David Loomis about was the fact that he finished 10th in the last race of the season, season 3 at New Smyrna. So because of that, he is going to get to start on the pole tonight. So David Loomis will be your pole sitter. And if J.R. Shepard was going to be here, he would have been the driver to start in 10th. But he won't be here this evening. So Tim Shinosky finished second. He'll be towards the back of the grid. But that is one thing we have to look forward to every week here in the Bootleg Racing. They invert the grid from the previous week's finish in the top 10 there. So a little continuing storyline there for you, Tanner. But with just under 5 minutes to go in practice here, what are you looking forward to seeing here tonight at Old Langley Speedway?
Good old classic short track racing. I remember getting my first start here at the Langley Speedway when I first hopped on the iRacing service, and right now in these SK Modifieds, these drivers are throwing some pretty good nifty lap times. I'm seeing some 50 15 flats on the board, at least by 2 drivers. And of course, you get 15.1s and on back from, what is it, 3rd place all the way to 8th place. So I am really looking forward to the close racing. There is a fixed setup, so every single driver is using the exact same setup, which is going to bring the competition even closer here tonight for 100 laps around Langley.
Now, lots going on in the Bootleg Racing League. We watched them here practice. We don't have to worry about any qualifying. Check out their website, bootlegracingleague.com. They are open for membership and looking for people to join the several series that they run on Saturday evenings. It's not just the modifieds. They ran a couple races already this evening. They had the street stocks that kicked off at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and J.J. Garrett won that race going away. Had a pretty good jump on the field and really cleaned house. And then they follow that series at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with the limited late models. And Mike Holloway was the big winner over there just a little while ago. And then, of course, they end the evening with this big race here, 100 laps in the Outlaw Modifieds, and that's an invitational series. You work your way into that series by running in the other series and proving your worth, if you will. But again, check them out at bootlegracingleague.com. Another thing, they're always looking for sponsors, people to join this series and get your name involved with the Bootleg Racing League. If you want information about that, you can go to their website, put in a / and sponsorship, and you'll find it there. Something also new coming for this fall, their Friday lineup. They're now that we're not going to be televising these races, but they're going to run a short winter series from October 20th through March 23rd on Friday nights. They're going to run the Pro Trucks at 7 Eastern, and then they're going to have a Grand National Series at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. More information about that is on their website also. Now, Tanner, we're just now about 2 minutes to go here, and like I said, David Loomis is going to get ready to start this race from the point. 100 laps, you got to make these tires survive. Now, Langley, an old track, and that generally means an old surface. What does old surface mean? That means, well, tires are probably going to chew up pretty good. What are your feelings about that?
Well, as much as I would love to be out there running with these boys in these SK Modifieds, and since it is an old service and they chew up the tires, as a driver, I'd be like, man, I want to come in for some tires. But, hey, you can't change tires whatsoever in this race tonight, so you're just going to have to do your best out there to try to stay strong. And track position, usually on short tracks like these, is going to be really key, unless you're just a real phenomenal short track racer. You can work your way up to throughout the field, and we have seen that happen before, so anything can happen in these Bootleg Outlaw Modified Series races. And I tell you what, as a race fan, I'm so pumped for this, because this is like going to your local short track and watching these guys run. It just has a fantastic feeling as a race fan.
Yeah, boy, I don't know if tonight is the night we see a second groove come in banking here. We talked about how just incredibly flat this track is at 6 degrees. I think there's really one fast way around, and it's down there near that yellow line here in the bottom of the turns. Boy, it's going to be tough just hanging on as we got Donnie Moore getting off the turn there. You see the ASPCA Irwin Tools number 26. He has a little trouble there in the turn. They'll be struggling for that grip all night tonight. And again, 100 laps here. That's 15-second laps, 100 laps. It could be over in the blink of an eye, unless the yellow laundry is flying this evening. Hopefully we don't get a lot of those. In fact, that limited late model race just a little while ago, that one got over in a jiffy. Went in to spectate that one, and one moment they're dropping the green, next moment they're dropping the checker. So we'll see what we got in store with us tonight, but I think it's safe to say it's just about time to call our grid here, and excited to get the first one out of the way. Langley Speedway. The last couple seasons we've been starting here, and Langley's a good one to start at. Again, that lack of banking here presents a very good challenge to these drivers to get the season started. It'll be tight quarters and a lot at stake this evening. But I think we can we go to our grid yet here? Yes, we can, and here we go. Tonight's grid, David Loomis on the front row, starting position 1, and Jeff Kendrick starting second. Go ahead, Tanner.
Yeah, starting that third spot tonight, who's got that lucky inside row first is going to be Donnie Moore. He'll be behind the race leader. And fourth place, Lowell Jewell.
All right, Lowell starting there in fourth. And row 3, Mike Holloway, Matt Shinatsky starting on the outside.
Brian Dean will roll off in 7th. And Jeff Sharp, no relation to me, will roll off in 8th.
All right, row 5, Tim Shinatsky and Lucas Stinciano is back.
Jeff Hines going to roll off outside the top 10 and 11th. Philip Temples in 12th.
Our friend Phil Temples in this race got a long way to go to get to the front. J.J. Garrett starting 13th and John Holcomb starting 14th. All right, Tanner. We'll go around a couple times here. The field's set, ready to go. Loomis going to get to start from the point. We'll see how he starts this field. Is he going to take it easy, or is he going to get the jump on everybody? We'll see. Kendrick going to have to be important for him to either get a good jump and maybe get him off the top of the turn or fall into place real quickly. That's going to be hard to do with Donnie Moore back there just behind Loomis. Donnie been around a long time, 4-time champion here in the Bootleg Racing League. And if anybody knows how to win one of these things, it's him. Certainly been a bridesmaid plenty of times, but the Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to pull off of this track. The ASPCA 100 just about underway. Oh boy, and Loomis checks up, goes slow. Kendrick gets around. I don't know if he's going to be penalized for that. I think we're okay here for the start, but Kendrick gets a big jump. Loomis a little slow on the start. Donnie Moore back there blinking already, Tanner. But lap 1 in the books, and Jeff Kendrick is your leader. David Loomis chasing.
Yeah, Jewell is actually stuck on a high side, man. He wants to get to the inside of the racetrack, but so far there's absolutely no room, and there is a train of cars on the inside that want to hog that inside line. You're pretty much going back until you find a spot in line. Right now he's starting to be overtaken by the 75 of John Hine down in turn 3 and 4, almost close quarters contact coming off turn number 4. And now Joel, he wants that inside row, but so far now he's being overtaken by another car.
Yeah, and Lowell struggling just a bit there on the top side. John Holcomb now looking to get down below him, almost making wheel-to-wheel contact there. J.J. Garrett got by.
Yeah, Lowell almost, that was really close quarters right there. But hopefully he can get right in there right now. There's a spot right now he can get into, and that would be the safest spot on track. But he lost a number of positions already at the start in the first 5 laps.
He really did, and that's tough right there for Lowell. Back up front, though, David Loomis in front of Donnie Moore. Donnie Moore is starting to look a little bit impatient. Kendrick really got a jump on that start, and I think it really had everything to do with the checkup of David Loomis as they came off the turn there. Loomis has paid for it now in front of Donnie Moore. Moore really looking to get around, and boy, just not enough distance in the straightaways here for Donnie to get a run at him and get that wheel under.
No, by the time you hit that full throttle power on the throttle down there, you're already entering the corner, which means you kind of have to use the brakes and lift and make sure that that car does not step out on you like that. And you don't want to get those left sides below the white line, or the yellow line, excuse me, because that can get the car out of control a little dirty down there.
Now everybody lined astern here. Not many positions picked up yet. Brian Dean there. Right now, Dean holding down that 5th spot. Mike Holloway up to 4th. Holloway could certainly get another victory this evening. Going to have to get through these cars to do it. Already ripped 10 laps off. Good start to this race so far. Couple of cars off pace and have dropped back, and that's right now John Hine, John Holcomb, Lowell Jewell, all trying to come along there. Lucas Stinciano.
Oh, we got trouble. There goes J.J. Garrett sideways. Tremendous save by J.J. there. Holy cow. I thought he truly lost it. But, man,
wow.
That was a wheel. That was a lot of wheel he did into that, man. Nice job.
Yeah, amazing save there by the Indiana driver. Just behind him, though, John Holcomb and the 75 of John Hine getting after it. Holcomb finally getting that position away. Holcomb now up to 8th. That's 6 spots for John Holcomb since we started this race.
Yep, and just ahead of him, J.J. Garrett's another one who actually had close quarters down 3 and 4. He's from 13th up to 7th already.
Yeah, JJ, another winner this evening, and certainly knows the quick way around this track, and he's proving it now. He's making up ground on the drivers in front of him. That's Tim Shinosky, and the 07 just hits the wall coming across the line. Not a hard thing to do here. Can't afford doing that too many times. The car will suffer. You'll knock the toe out of that right front, and it will push like a dump truck from there. Yeah,
man. Looking right here, the top 6 drivers are pretty much nose to tail right now. Oh, Shinziano.
Oh, Lucas is on his lid.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
No caution for that, and looks like the race leaders behind him, or they're coming up on him right now.
Yeah, and you know what? The car got back over on its wheels. Watch this on the replay. He's going to hit that wall. It's going to pop over. Does finally roll back over on its wheels. Lucas able to get down to the apron before the field caught up to him. A lucky break for the field. Bad news for Stinziano, though.
Yeah, he's going to pull it into the pits and probably use one of them fast repairs. He's going to get back out there on the speedway, and he's going to lose a couple laps to this.
John Hine really struggling back here. Lowell Jewell. Jeff Sharp just going by him. Now Matt Shinosky's caught him.
Yeah, John's, he's just not even able to gain really any track position on track right now. Right now he's back where he started since the drop of the green flag back in 11th.
Tim Shinosky making a move. Tim gets up under Brian Dean, and now he's going to pass him across the start-finish line. Give it to Tim Shinosky. Up to 6th. He's bringing J.J. Garrett along with him. Dean now the man on the top side.
Yeah, not what Dean really wanted. Now he's going to have to probably settle in line here behind Garrett in the 11, which he will right now.
Garrett really, really loose coming off of turn 4. Now he's flirting down there on that apron.
Oh, he got tapped on the bumper. Yep. Goes around into the grass.
Yep.
No caution. Yep, out of the racing line, which means no caution. Hopefully it doesn't come out. Oh, there's a caution right now. I do believe that would be for Garrett.
Yeah. On board with Brian Dean here for that replay. You're going to see the slight bit of contact only because Garrett was already out of shape. He was trying to recover. Dean had nowhere to go there. Had checked up a little bit, but it wasn't enough. It gets Garrett around. Garrett comes back up onto the track slowly, but when he does, another car is coming by, and that triggered our yellow flag. Our first caution of the night. 23 laps in. We've knocked out a quarter of this race, and Jeff Kendrick, David Loomis, and Donnie Moore, those guys up there really, really having a good race to get things started. But I go back to the start of this race, and Kendrick up on the top side. Hard to say he jumped it, but Loomis did not get started, and they had gotten past the line, and he checked up just a bit, and Kendrick gets away. So a bit of a controversial start, but he does retain that spot, and no one's been able to pass him since we got started. And so far, so good here tonight in the ASPCA 100.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's really catching my eye is these drivers are really playing around with this racetrack. What I mean by that is they're trying to find ways to try to make a move on somebody. Some drivers are thinking, okay, if I can get a run off the exit of the corner, I might get side by side with them. That was a thought, but nothing has produced there just yet. But it's been all Jeff Kendrick since the drop of the green flag, like you said there, Sean. And there's some drivers kind of moving up, and quite a few drivers that have actually moved back. Now, the top 6 drivers haven't really lost a lot of positions on track lately.
No, sir. And we've had a couple of big movers here in the field. John Holcomb, one of them. John actually struggled early, but has managed to pick up 7 spots. He currently finds himself in 7th. Another big mover tonight, Tim Shinosky. Matt struggled early, and Matt finds himself struggling in the back of the pack right now, back in 12th, but Tim's come up 4 spots and finds himself now fighting in the top 5. He'll start on the inside. Lucas Stinziano getting a wave around. He'll get a chance to get one of those laps back. Currently, though, will remain 3 laps down, so that wreck and getting up on his lid, that really cost him a lot of time there. But Kendrick going to get a chance to restart this race at the point.
Yeah, pretty much. But I'll be a little worried about David Loomis here, because now he started outside that outside row here, and that's not really the spot where you're going to want to speed. But you really don't got much of a choice if you're in second place. So hopefully he can get on that loud pedal there and get on going.
Maybe he gives a little bit of the business back to Kendrick. Here we go. The Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to pull off. That white commitment line right there, and Loomis goes no, and then he checks up again. Kendrick gets away. Kendrick gets away with it. It brings Donnie Moore with him, and now Loomis stuck up on the top side, can't do anything up there. Tim Shinoski able to get down and under. And we've got trouble in the backstretch. Oh, it started with Brian Dean. Yeah.
Yep. Brian Dean off of turn number 2 gets contact with I believe it was the number 5.
Yeah, old Jewel got him.
Old Jewel, yep.
Yeah, and boy, the 75 of John Hine getting by. He's probably going to have damage on his front end and his roof there. You see him get pinched up into the wall and gets under that. Dean takes a hard hit there. A lot of smoke coming from that car. I think
quite
he had to take a toe in.
Yeah, quite a few drivers involved in this, Sean.
On board with Hine here. Like I said, he's just going to get pinched up in the wall. He's got no place to go. And that is going to be some damage for sure on that car.
Was there any damage on Matt Chinoski's vehicle? If anything, I think he may have had door contact with the 5 of Lowell Jewell.
Yeah, I don't see anything on Matt's car. I think he might have got away from that clean. And one of the things about these SK Modifieds, you're never really sure physically when you're looking at the vehicle. You're never quite sure if maybe that suspension or steering has been affected. That front end on the SK Modified, it can take a little bit of damage, but you knock those wheels just right, you can knock one of them out of tow, and it makes it a real monster to drive, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And once that toe gets knocked out, it's almost like you're crab walking it just a little bit. And probably the best thing to do is probably go down pit road and get a fast repair. That way, because driving with a toe knocked out is the most irritating thing as a driver on the sim.
Well, Jeff Kendrick is going to get to restart this race with a pro. Donnie Moore, not that David Loomis isn't a pro, but I'm giving a little props to Donnie Moore. He's been around here since they built the foundation. So Donnie going to start up on the front row. Let's see what he does with this start on the outside. Tim Shinoski finds himself in this battle now, though. He'll restart third, and it's going to be Loomis having to start from the outside again. And if I was David Loomis, I think I would probably... when I get on that loud pedal, I think I would stay on it and not lift. That seems to have bit him both the start of the race and the restart out of the last caution. So here we go. The lights are out. Everybody going to get caught up again here. We still have 13 cars on track. Phil Temple still sitting in the pits. Been in there for about 9 minutes, maybe done for the night. But here we go down the backstretch. These straightaways not very, very long at all, Tanner. But we're getting ready to crank it up here again as we get through turn 3. In the middle of the turn, the pace car going to pull off, and Donnie Moore with a big jump off of 4. There he goes. Donnie Moore on the top side. Kendrick going to keep it down low, going to run right there with him. Here comes Tim Shinoski. Boy, Kendrick got a really nice bite there off of turn 2. Able to get in front of Donnie Moore and leave Donnie in second. Having to deal with Tim Shinoski getting the run at him. Here comes John Holcomb. Holcomb almost making contact there on Tim Shinoski, Tanner.
Yeah, man, oh man, Donnie really tried challenging for the top spot, but it did not play out in his favor. But I tell you what, a driver that has really dropped like a rock on that restart was David Loomis. He's able to find a spot in line right now, but almost close quarters between the 11 of Garrett and the 75 machine of John Hine. That was pretty close down entering turn 1. So far, they're back on the toes, right? But we do got a battle on track right now.
Yeah.
Mike Holloway.
Holloway's digging, man. He wants another victory tonight. He gets under the 73 of Jeff Sharp, and he is gone. He takes it away.
Yeah, Sharp might be under attack right here from Loomis because he's running a little bit of a higher line than what Loomis is, and it looks like Loomis wants it. Sharp's like, you gonna take it? You there? He is there. So now they're battling side by side.
You know, that is Sharp's MO, though. He does like to run that center groove on a lot of the tracks that we run at. Tries to take care of the tires to the end, but he is losing a lot of positions here. JJ Garrett now gets by him.
Man, Sharp really wanted to try to get into that hole, but he did make it into that hole. But at the same time, he cut off the nose of the 75 Hein back there. That was really close.
Not much has changed up front. The top 5 still intact. Jeff Kendrick, Donnie Moore.
Trouble. David Loomis around off turn number 2.
Yeah, car started to get loose.
Yeah, if he gets it going right here, we'll remain green.
I think he's going to be okay, and you see he's just going to start to get loose as they get down into turn 1. That car is going to start to slide on him just a bit, and JJ Garrett was there. Loomis stays down in the grass. It does not bring out a caution flag as we go back green. Loomis loses a lot of time.
I did document. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I documented at the top of the show here that you get them left sides below that yellow line down there, and as I say, it was dirty down there. It can really get the car so loose and just spin out on you like that, which causes another car to bump you like that. So, very unfortunate for David Loomis.
Man up front, Donnie Moore knocking on the door, literally. The chrome horn, a little bit at play here early. Donnie giving him that one tap, letting him know he's there. The old Teddy Christopher.
Oh, there he goes.
3-tap rule. There's number 2.
Oh, he got tapped again.
What do you got?
Around he goes. Caution is out.
He didn't get a chance for the 3rd tap. Well, the 3rd tap didn't come from Donnie. It came from Tim Shinowski. Poor Jeff Kendrick going to lose a lot of positions to that. Kendrick, in fact, all the way back to 10th after that.
And that first tap he got from the 25 or 26, excuse me, of Donnie, you know, he had it saved, but all of a sudden that 3rd tap, as you said, from Tim Shinowski in that right rear quarter panel really turned around the 52 there, or 62 of Jeff Kendrick. But hey, he didn't hit the inside wall though.
No, really, the only thing that hurt Kendrick there was just the slide itself. He didn't make any contact with anything, fortunately, and everybody really walks away unscathed. Now Kendrick is going to have to do some work, get himself back up through the field. But things have changed up top. It's now Donnie Moore as we get ready to hit the halfway point of this race. The New England driver finds himself in 1st. Tim Shinowski has climbed the ladder, finds himself in 2nd. Another driver who has literally climbed the ladder, John Holcomb, all the way from 14th spot, now finds himself in a podium position with a hard-charging Mike Holloway there. Holloway won just a little while ago in the limited late models, so we know he's hot. Certainly another win would look good in his trophy case here at the end of the evening.
Absolutely. A driver I've been keeping my eye on. He already had one spin already, but now he's cracked the top 5, and that's that little number 11 right there. That cat right there, J.J. Garrett. Started 13th, had a spin earlier, now he's in the top 5. Just goes to show that just because you spin out doesn't necessarily mean you're out of it just yet. But the great thing for Garrett is that he's going to be restarting on the inside row, which is the preferred line.
Yeah. I think starting to have some technical difficulty here. Okay, I'm back. There we go. Okay. All right, as we get ready to get this race restarted.
Yeah, Donnie Moore, he'll have his shot on the inside row. Then that's going to throw it on the outside of Tim Shinowski. Now, Donnie Moore just blinked out there, and he hasn't really came back on track just yet. So we'll have to see how this plays out as we do get the 1-to-go signal on track. So it'll be Tim Shinowski, John Holcomb, as it looks like, unless we get our race leader, Donnie Moore, back on track. So far,
that's odd.
Yeah, he hasn't received any unacceptable level yet, but Here we go. That will give the inside row to Holcomb, actually.
Wow. That is a big development. Take this start here, Tanner.
Yeah, Tim Shinowski gets on the loud pedal on the outside row. He's clear all around. The first side-by-side battle on this track will be between Holcomb and Mike Holloway. Mike Holloway, close quarters contact, beating and banging off turn number 2. So far, they keep it intact. Mike Holloway might actually have the worst end of that because he's stuck on the high side. He's starting to be overtaken by J.J. Garrett. And if he can try get in line behind Garrett, that might prevent Hind from getting in there, which is going to happen just now. Ooh, looks like Garrett wanted to get a run off turn number 4 on Holcomb.
Yeah, Garrett trying to get a run there at Holcomb. Holcomb having to be really careful here. You don't want to get loose and give that opportunity to him, but Garrett is charging hard.
Yeah, all you Donnie Moore fans. Trouble! Turn 1. Oh, no.
Big trouble for both of them. No caution yet.
Caution
now the
is out
caution's
now.
out. Yeah, there it is. A little bit of a tussle for those two.
Yeah, just
Here
a
on the
little
replay.
bit. Got into that left rear quarter panel. Garrett got into 69 there of Holcomb. Entering turn number 1. They both slide into the inside infield of the track. And I think that tap from the 11 to the 69 brought out the caution. That final tap right there. Everybody else gets through unscathed.
And I'm sorry for the trouble there, folks. I had a couple of gremlins jump into the booth here. They have been sacked, I can assure you. On board with John Hine. This replay. Hine just getting by all the action right there.
You Donnie Moore fans out there, Donnie actually he fell through unacceptable level but came back, so now he's getting waved around the pace car by race officials, so he's back out there on track. But the downside to that is he lost a lot of track position. And the unacceptable level means it can be due to a number of things. Usually it's due to an internet connection when you're racing on a sim of iRacing. If you're blinking in and out, you may have some kind of internet or hardware problem. And if you don't come back, they kind of kick you out, which means you're going to have to log back into the server, which is a real pain in the butt to do. But
you know, and I wonder if Donnie Moore and myself had the same problem. We're only separated by a small body of water, the Long Island Sound. So I'm wondering if we both suffered the same boot. We're the victim of the same boot there. But glad to see him back on track. Just a shame that he lost those laps. And, with some caution flags, he might be able to get back on the lead lap here. We'll see. He's officially, 2 laps down right now. So maybe he gets a little bit of help. Lucas Dinziano, after that, way by and is going to be the first car in front of him, though. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Tim Shinowski going to get to restart this race. Mike Holloway going to be right alongside him there. John Hine, Jeff Sharp in your second row. Third row is going to be Matt Shinowski and John Holcomb. So the Shinowski boys are in the top 5.
Man, just look. Sorry to cut you off, Sean. I'm just before we go green flag racing here, I'm just looking at the top 5 drivers and look where they started. All of them pretty much start outside the top 5 with the exception of Mike Holloway, who started in 5th. So we have some new players right now in this stage of the race coming to 40 laps to go, and we're coming back to go green flag racing, and it's going to be all Tim Shinowski.
Yeah, new customers at the front of the store. We'll see what they do. The iRacing official pace car, the original, pulling off now. We have gone green, and Tim Shinowski is on the hammer. Kind of dust Mike Holloway there, but Holloway getting a good run down on the bottom, runs right up to him there out of 2.
That was a good restart by Shinowski and Holloway right there, but the battle will be on point back here with Sharp on the high side of the racetrack. He's clear on the inside, he can take it. Here comes Kendrick. He's starting to come back.
Yeah, remember him? He only started on the front row here when we got this race started.
It wasn't that long ago that he spun off of turn number 4 with some help contact, but he's coming back now. He's 6th right now. A little time left, but not too much time.
Yeah, this race is definitely going away from us. We have 37 laps to go this time around. And Holloway looking to get a little impatient up there front. Keeps taking that little bit of look at Tim Shinosky. Kind of filling up his mirror, let him know, hey, I'm there. You better pay attention to me.
Holloway looks a little stronger down in 3 and 4, while coming off turn number 2, it's all Shinosky. But Holloway, man, he knows the laps are clicking down now, and he knows it's time to go. Look at this, 2 different lines right here between Shinosky and Holloway for that top spot, just a little bit different. Not too much of a difference, but tell you what, not too much of a difference can mean big.
Yeah, and here's Matt now in 4th. He did manage to get by Jeff Sharp, and Matt on a pretty good roll himself here. John Holcomb drove through the pit for some reason. Oh, Tim Shinosky with a big mistake there, and Holloway up alongside him.
Got a little loose coming off the exit of the corner of turn number 2. That would allow Holloway to try to take advantage, but guess what? There's no change between the top 2 drivers just yet. So very close call on Shinosky's part, almost costing him the race lead.
And John Holcomb is going to be in the way here. Not used to saying that with John, but here they come, and there he is. The Lawrence Towing SK Modified just up in front of this battle. He's going to have a serious decision to make here as the leader comes through. The leader fighting with Mike Holloway right now.
Good launch off the exit of the corner, but you are definitely right. Lap traffic play dividends to Holloway here, because you kind of want to use the lap car as a pick, but looks like he's going to get out of the way. That's a very common courtesy thing to do on short tracks like this. Good job on John Holcomb's part.
Yeah, it really was. John did a great job there getting out of the way and staying out of this this really, really good battle. Holloway going to keep digging at him.
Pretty much everybody else spread out, single file, but that top spot is probably the closest battle on the speedway according to the times that I'm looking at. Holloway just gets him right in the middle of the corner of 3 and 4, but loses him on exit. But it's just a matter on how you can get the race leader. Oh, almost close quarter bumper contact to Shinosky. That got a little scary, but hey, maybe that could be like a little warning signal. You know, sometimes drivers give each other warning signals and you don't even know it.
All right, we've got a little bit of movement here in the back. Donnie Moore starting to pick things up just a bit. Now remember, he's down a lap now, behind Lowell Jewell, who is the last car on that lead lap right now.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a battle for position, but hopefully maybe Donnie can get one more caution and get back on the lead lap. Oh, trouble?
Yeah, trouble for John Hine. He had trouble in the middle of the backstretch. The funny thing is he had just gotten by Jeff Sharp.
And John looked like he was using the middle groove on the exit of the corner right there, and that car just stepped out on him. Great wheel work, though, I can tell you that much.
And, you know, he's able to get back to it and prevent Sharp from getting around him. That leaves him in 4th spot. But Matt Shinosky, that did open the door for Shinosky. Now Matt Shinosky in 3rd. Could we have the Shinosky boys on the podium this evening? 22 laps to go. Things are looking pretty good here for these two.
We might, or he could be sitting in that little popcorn spot of 3rd place, waiting to see what's going to happen with the race leaders, because Holloway has been keeping tabs with Tim Shinosky out front there. Hasn't pulled away from Holloway. I'm just curious of what Holloway's going to do in these final 20 laps.
Oh, in the middle of the track.
Caution is out.
Looks like Lowell had a little bit of trouble in the middle of the turn. Oh, he blew it up. Lowell blew it up. You're going to see a puff of smoke. Wow. It was the number 26 there. Donnie Moore gets into him.
Yeah, that was Donnie Moore getting into him, and the 23 of Brian Dean.
Yep, Dean hits him square, T-bones him. It was Donnie Moore that was right behind him.
sometimes you can't know when these cars are going to blow up if you have significant damage. You're just kind of riding out there trying to do the best you can. You ride on board with Dean.
Yep, there you see the smoke, the brief smoke come out.
Nowhere to go.
Haven't heard Lowell say why it blew. Can't imagine he was shifting right there.
Well, usually you're not shifting on a short track like this. I don't think you are. I mean, I never have.
Maybe he had some damage from one of his previous incidents here on the track. I'm just not sure. That was awful strange.
Yeah, usually if you have significant damage and sometimes your gauges in these cars don't really necessarily tell you if you're going to blow up or not, unlike the NASCAR, the higher series NASCARs tell you. But these series, you're pretty much just running it out as much as you can. If it blows, it blows. It's an unfortunate situation, but that's just usually the way it goes sometimes.
Well, Lowell, as a result of that, not going to get to finish. He would have liked to got here in the first round.
No, he's not, but we're going to be coming here soon with about 16 laps to go next time by at the start-finish line as we remain under caution here. Tim Szymanski and Mike Holloway. I'm curious of what's going to happen because Tim Szymanski's me on the inside. Mike is going to be thrown to the outside while Matt Szymanski's going to be on the inside. So this is going to be a very interesting restart in these closing stages here, Sean.
Yeah, it is definitely. The Szymanskis are a big player this evening. Now, they do some racing in the real world and have taken a lot of time off here over the summer. But they are back, and I'd say they're back in full force this evening. So your two front rows, Tim Szymanski, Mike Holloway, John Hine, and Matt Szymanski.
Oh boy, watch them cats on the inside row there. Them Szymanski boys. Just watch those two cats right there. We'll see what happens on this restart.
Here we go. Everybody lined up, ready to go. Base car off the track, and Tim Szymanski on the throttle quick.
Holloway's clear. He's going to take advantage of it right there.
Yeah. He does not want Matt to get up in there. And Matt actually having trouble on the restart right now. Battling with Hine and Jeff Sharp right behind him.
And Holloway's really looking towards that inside road. Just cannot make anything happen. He may have to put the chrome on. He does get loose entering turn number one, though. Holloway does. He's still trying to fight it. He's losing momentum. This is going to reel in a couple of drivers like Matt Szymanski in the back there.
That was a costly mistake for Holloway.
Yeah, not very good. And actually, yeah, Matt right there, man, he couldn't really go anywhere because Holloway was doing his best at the same time trying to save it, protect his position on the track.
Now Holloway back to it now, finally starting to recover from that mistake. Starting to gain the ground now.
Oh, trouble, Loomis.
Oh, boy. Keep it down
Loomis
there, David. Keep it down there, buddy.
Does. He gets it pointed straight.
Great job.
Keeps it down there. Almost contact with the 69 back there of John Holcomb, but they remain green.
Poor Holcomb, he has been all over this grid this evening. Been up front, fighting for position. Now finds himself just trying to hang on here at the back of the pack. Sitting in 10th right now. Would mean a pole for him next week.
Back on the lead lap, Donnie Moore was actually going to get underneath Kendrick there. Could not make it stick. That was a pretty cool battle down 3 and 4.
Yeah, Donnie trying to get one more position back here, fighting for 6th.
Hey, what? Mike Holloway, he regained all that time back, and he's all over that back bumper of Tim Szymanski now with just coming to 8 laps to go, Sean.
Yes, sir. Holloway got to be anxious in the seat right now, probably sweating, probably thinking about, all right, I've got just now 7 laps to go when I get across the line here. What move is going to be the one that wins me this race?
A little bit of different lines in the middle of the corner, but this time by in 1 and 2, they're pretty much both down by the yellow line. Down in turn number 3. Yeah, just a little bit of different line. Looks like Holloway's more close to that yellow line than what Szymanski is. 6 laps remaining.
Man, Mike has got this thing dialed in. He just can't find an opportunity to get around. Tim not likely to make a mistake here. Mike is going to have to take it from him if he really wants it. Matt Shinoski back there digging, just trying to get to the fun here, but not enough left in that SK Modified to charge right now.
Man, ever so close, ever so fast, but I can't get it. I can't do anything with it. What do you got to do to get around Shinotsky with 4
Here he goes.
Here he goes, looking towards the inside. Can he throw it down in there? Actually, he might take it right here. Nope, he can't do nothing with it. He tried, but he doesn't want to wreck a competitor, though.
No, Mike's not going to roll that way. Been around too long. Doesn't need to win races like that. He knows that.
That's good sportsmanship.
It's going to be a great finish here. They're coming across with 2 to go. Shinoski,
right
Tim is just hanging on by a thread here. Holloway still trying to find a way around. It's not there. Oh, is it? Is he going to get him out of 4 here? No, he can't get a wheel inside. White flag is out. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. There's his move. No, he just denied. Tim Shinoski denied. Holloway, one last effort. No, here comes Matt Shinoski. Tim Shinoski's going to go across first and take the win in the ASPCA 100. Mike Holloway fought as hard as he could, does not get it. Matt Shinoski going to complete the podium. Jeff Sharp is crossing 4th, and Donnie Moore actually manages to get all the way back up to 5th.
That was an awesome finish. I mean, as a race fan, I'd be cheering in the grandstands right down there. That was pretty cool to watch right there between Holloway and Tim Shinotsky. That was awesome.
Yeah, we got a great fireworks show going, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We'll be right back for the conclusion of our show here from Langley Speedway with the Bootleg Racing League. Round 1 in the books at Langley Speedway, the ASPCA 100 here in the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series in the Bootleg Racing League. What a race, Tanner Sharp. That was a little bit of fun there at the finish. Let's see how they all came home. Tim Shinoski, your big winner tonight. Mike Holloway separates him from his brother there in second. Matt getting on the podium also. The Pennsylvania brothers dominate this race and both find themselves on the podium. Jeff Sharp there in fourth. Donnie Moore comes home to take it fifth. Sixth going to go to John Hine. And Jeff Kendrick going to finish seventh. Tanner, take the rest.
Yeah, in the 8th place tonight, you got Lucas Stinzantio in 8th tonight. David Loomis found a lot of trouble after starting from the pole. Didn't even lead a lap tonight, unfortunately, but hopefully he get her done next week. He'll round off 9th. John Holcomb rounds out that top 10, the last driver on the lead lap. Brian Dean, 3 laps down in 11th. Lowell Jewell in 12th. JJ Garrett had some success up there in the top 10, but he'll find himself in 13th, 46 laps down. And Philip Temples started the race, but finishes 14th, 92 laps down there, Sean.
Yeah, tough night for Philly. Hopefully things get better for him next week. But I'm sure we have a pretty excited Tim Shinoski to talk to here. Tim, big win tonight, round 1 in the books. You come back from doing some real racing this summer and get out here, race number 1 of the fall season, and you get a big victory, buddy. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great, Sean. It's been a while since I've won a modified race. It was a tough track out there tonight, very slick, but it was a fun race.
You know what? It really was. And look, your brother here on the podium with you, man. Was that the plan coming in tonight?
Apparently. I don't think anyone told me, but apparently that was the plan.
So, tell us, what have you been doing with yourself here over the summer?
Well, I spent a lot of time at the racetrack this summer, and then I moved to North Carolina, so I spent some time at the racetracks down here, and I'm glad to be back here racing in the Bootleg Racing League.
So you're in North Carolina now. Okay. Are you trying to get into someone's development program or going to work at a shop there? What's the story, guys? Is there a story to break?
No, there's no story to break. Just moved down here and just working and driving some virtual race cars.
Well, Tim, hey, listen, great way to kick off the season. You are the points leader coming out of tonight. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. You'll have to start from 10th place next week. What do you think about that?
Well, it's going to be a challenge. Oxford Plains is a difficult racetrack to pass on. And the racers here in the Bootleg Racing League are very, very quick, so it's going to be difficult, but you never know what can happen.
Tim, I know you gotta give a shout out to somebody. Do it now.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Christian Family Construction for coming on board to sponsor us this season, and I want to say a great run to Donnie. It's a shame what happened to him with his internet connection there, and Jeff Kendrick as well at the beginning. They both deserve to have good finishes, but things happen in racing, and there's always next week.
Yes, there is, and we'll see you there at Oxford Plains. Congratulations, Tim.
Thanks, Sean.
All right, now that was Tim Shinoski. Tanner, I'm going to let you talk. I'm going to keep it in the family for myself tonight. I'm going to let you talk to Mike Holloway, our bridesmaid here in the SK Modified race, and let you congratulate him on his limited late model win.
Yeah, congratulations on that limited late model win there, Mike. And you probably could have had another one in the virtual world of sim racing here at Langley. But man, if you could have tried anything different to try to get around Tim there, what could it be?
There really wasn't a lot I could do. He kind of got settled in his rhythm there, and the best I could do was wait for him to make a mistake. I mean, I'm not going to run over him. I don't drive like that, so I think what we had is what we had. There wasn't a lot more I could do.
Yeah, and usually bumping him out of the way wouldn't be the ideal thing to do, but I tell you what, you had some opportunities out there, it just couldn't stick for you. And speaking of not stick for you, is this thing really that much of a handful under the lights? Usually when you drive nighttime racing, you get a lot of grip into the track, but tonight it seemed like it was loosey-goosey on you coming off the corner of the exit of the corners on this flat track. Tell me the story about that.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, it kind of surprised me a little bit too. The first half of the race wasn't bad. It drove good, but as the race went on, and I guess the tires wore a little bit, I didn't think I was putting that much on them, but about midway on, she was slick for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of you driving here tonight, you started 5th and you get your second place finish tonight, podium finish. How do you maintain your position on a track like this? Is it you always watch your surroundings, or what could it be?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's that, and really here, this little track, it's one groove. I mean, it's patience. You sit and wait for the person in front of you to make a mistake or run it a little bit too wide or something like that, and then you have to pounce and take any opportunity you can get. You have to stick it in there and be pretty aggressive, so that's really the best you can do here.
Patience, one groove, and hard to pass, which is going to be the next upcoming racetrack next week on October 7th, Oxford Plains Speedway. You got a good momentum ride going for a second place finish tonight. How about maybe going to Victory Lane next week? What about your thoughts on Oxford?
Well, I sure hope so. I mean, Oxford's probably not my most productive track, but I've done well there, so I mean, I'm hoping for some pretty big things.
All right, Mike. Well, that was a tremendous run for you to run out there in the top 5 all night long and get a second place finish. Congratulations, and we'll see you at Oxford.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Back to you, Sean.
All right, and so that was Mike Holloway. Let's talk to Matt Shinosky, all about the brothers Shinosky tonight. Matt, congratulations. That was a little bit of work tonight, wasn't it, buddy?
Oh, man, it was a lot of work. I dropped to the back. Started on the outside lane, and there just wasn't any grip at the beginning of the race. I dropped all the way to the last in line, and I don't know what happened, but somehow made it up to 3rd at the end.
Yeah, you did, and you had to get through a lot of cars to do it, but it was actually a pretty clean race. The caution flags that we saw were basically a couple of self-spins, one that was just a little bit of light contact. Any scary moments for you out there tonight, Matt?
Only about every lap. The track was like ice tonight, and everyone, I think of the reason why you saw a lack of side-by-side racing is we were all just hanging on. The track was so slippery. We were all just fighting it. I don't know what it looked like from your perspective, but from ours, we were all complaining about how slippery it was.
Yeah, and it was only 86 degrees on track, but there's just not a lot of banking here, man. That's really, really tough to deal with, even when you've got these huge tires on these SK Modifieds. As you said, it had the appearance of glass at times. Listen, time to get a little personal. I've got to know, do you have issues with your brother? Do you miss him? The fact that he left you and went to North Carolina?
Well, the fact that we get to do this together makes it a heck of a lot better, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I used to race with my brother, and he left me. So he's on to bigger and better things and just doesn't have time for me on iRacing anymore. So I envy you, and keep it strong, brother, okay? So, we head off to Oxford Plains next week, and I asked him if that was the plan for you guys to both be on the podium tonight. Are you guys going to maybe try and team up, get the jump on the field next week, and not let anybody by?
Once the green flag flies, there is no plan. You're just doing the best you can.
Well, Matt, again, congratulations. Great way to start the season, coming back and getting up here on the podium. We'll see you in Oxford Plains next week.
All right, thanks a lot, Sean.
All right, that was Matt Shinosky, driver of the Double Aught SK Modified. Big night for them. And Tanner, a big night for us. Race number 1 of 11 is in the books. Tanner, did you have a good time?
I most certainly did. This bootleg Outlaw Modified Racing Series is just fun to watch as just not a a commentator, but as a race fan. And I watch these guys every little while, whenever I get the chance here on GSRC, and because it's usually those SK Modifieds I grew up watching. I actually played the old NASCAR games. I had those cars, and they were fun to drive with a controller. But actually watching it on the Sim of iRacing, it's loads of fun, and it's really going to be a lot of fun watching these guys take it to Oxford Plains. A little more banking, but not too much. 9 degrees of banking there. It's going to be a tough place to pass, but hopefully these guys can go get her done next week.
All right, Tanner. Now listen, remember, Christian Family Construction Services has come on board for this season here in the Bootleg Racing League, and they have complete excavation services for new homes and additions. Call them at 860-428-5995. They work in the Connecticut area. I know we've got a lot of people in the Northeast here who watch and subscribe to iRacing. So, hey, please patronize them, okay? And give them some business if you can. But we definitely want to thank the Bootleg Racing League and Christian Family Construction for allowing us to cover this series. And for more information about the Bootleg Racing League, find them on Facebook. Bootleg, just get to Facebook, type in Bootleg Racing League, all one word, you'll find them. Or go to their website, like I told you about earlier, bootlegracingleague.com. Find out how you can join the league. There are spots open. They're always looking for new drivers. Hit them up. We want to thank the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen and that we use on our broadcasts. The original music that you have heard on this broadcast and all of our broadcasts is thanks to the great Eric Ekholm and the great Casey Lalonde. Their information is right there on screen. You can contact them if you'd like some of that music for yourself. Now, for information about all GSRC events, go to globalsimracingchannel.com or find us on social media. Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook/Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word. Now, we also have upcoming races for other series on the screen now, so you can check those out and mark them down on your calendar. Next week, the Christian Family Construction Outlaw Modified Series will head to Oxford Plains Speedway for 100 laps of intense racing. You can see that action starting at 9:15 Eastern Standard Time on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. Now, for Dougie Beard, Joe Peak, and Tanner Sharp, I'm Sean Ambrose, turning off the lights and put the lock on the gate. Race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.